I've been concerned about checkpoints and roadblocks for some time, primarily because it's such a the right to travel, the right to move freely within one's country is such a fundamental right, and so it is so important to a free society that as I've watched circumstances change over the years, I've been concerned at how the government has been slowly encroaching upon those rights and whittling away at them. And so I've paid special attention to court cases that I've heard about over the years that deal specifically with when police officers are allowed to stop you. And checkpoints, by their very nature, they're suspicionless in nature. And part of our history as a country revolves around a limited government in which government agents can only interfere with your activities when they have reason to believe that you've either harmed somebody or you've caused damage to property, i.e. that they have reasonable suspicion or probable cause that you've done something wrong. Otherwise, it's a fundamental concept of a free society that you're left alone to live your own life without undue interference from the government. Well, checkpoints stand that whole concept on its head. It places individuals in the position of having to prove that they haven't done anything wrong, as opposed to the government having reasonable suspicion or probable cause to believe that you've done something wrong in order to interfere with your life and further an investigation. So stopping people without cause is the hallmark of is not the hallmark of a free society. It's something else, and it's a dangerous precedent. And being concerned about those types of things, I've paid close attention to court cases that have come through the courts over the years. So I was aware of the distinctions that the U.S. Supreme Court had made with regards to what types of checkpoints they consider lawful and what types of checkpoints they consider unconstitutional. And they've been very clear in how they differentiate between those. Roadblocks are problematic from my perspective because they are conducted absent any suspicion whatsoever. And traditionally, roadblocks are geared towards controlling societies or local communities as opposed to protecting them, because officers are stopping individuals absent any reason to believe that any particular person has done something wrong. And that stands a fundamental principle of our country on its head, where the idea of a limited government that only interferes with individuals and their lives only occurs when a government agent has reason to believe that that person has either harmed somebody else or caused damage to somebody else's property. And allowing police to be able to arbitrarily stop individuals absent any reason to believe that that person has done something wrong gives a very large amount of arbitrary authority to law enforcement. And that authority historically is ultimately abused. And to stop that abuse, you need to have controls in place that only allow law enforcement agents to stop you when they have reason to believe that you've done something wrong. Many people have asked me over the years why did I take the stand that I did at this checkpoint, and it was a confluence of reasons that came together at this particular time. I was knowledgeable about the limited scope of lawful and legitimate checkpoint operations. And it was very clear to me that at this particular checkpoint, the authorities at B had exceeded those lawful limitations. And believing that we live in a nation of laws where individuals have individual rights and they have a right to hold government accountable, it seemed appropriate to me to seek clarification at the checkpoint and to stand my ground and to require that my public servants actually justify their actions to me.